study,
and play come together on a Windows 11 PC.
And for a limited time, college students get
the best of both worlds.
Get the Unreal College Deal. Everything you need to study and play with select Windows 11 PCs. Eligible students get a year of Microsoft 365 Premium and a year of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with a custom color Xbox wireless controller. Learn more at windows.com/student offer. While supplies last. Ends June 30th. Terms at aka.ms/collegepc.
I've been in those rooms with Reuters, and I'm asking questions too. And people go, wow, the Atlanta Voice, that's a black owned newspaper. I didn't know you guys were even going to be here. I'm like, I know, because what you think is that because you're a big press, you should have carte blanche. But if it's my city, I'm the New York Times for Atlanta.
This is Small Press, Big Ideas, a podcast about the business of local news in the United States. I'm your host, Paul Gewertz. Small Press, Big Ideas is about the opportunities and challenges that local news publishers are facing for their businesses. I'll sit down and talk with journalists, entrepreneurs, nonprofit leaders, and more in the local news industry to find out what's working, what isn't, and how the local news ecosystem can innovate and flourish in the 21st century. Today on the podcast, I'm joined by Donnell Suggs. He is the editor-in-chief of the Atlanta Voice, which is the longest-running and only black newspaper in Atlanta. And yeah, man, thanks for joining me. Sounds like you've been listening to the podcast. I really appreciate that. So thanks for taking the time and coming on the show.
I appreciate you for having me. I'm a big fan of the show. I found it on LinkedIn. And I'm like, whoa, I work for a small press. I've got big ideas. I listened to a bunch of episodes in a row, and I'm like, what a great idea, because everything is New York Times and Washington Post and Reuters. And a lot of us are doing really good work nationally and locally, and we don't have to necessarily be at a big press. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Awesome. I'm going to take a clip of that because that's like, it's exactly what I'm going for, man. Cool. Yeah. So it's our first time talking. Just could you tell me about your background, your career in local journalism? Just set the stage a little.
Absolutely. This summer, I'm celebrating my 20th year as a newspaper reporter in Atlanta. I moved here in June of 2006, 10 years after the Olympics. Atlanta still was an idea. Like, oh, okay, I know they had the Olympics, and other than hip hop, what else do they have? What they had was two black newspapers, the Atlanta Daily World, the oldest, the first daily black newspaper in America, and the Atlanta Voice. So I came from New York, having interned and did some stuff at Vibe magazine and freelance for the Daily News in New York, looking for full-time work, but also wanting an opportunity as a young person. So I came to Atlanta and worked for both papers, and it changed my life because those two black-owned and operated newspapers gave me the carte blanche to cover professional sports, but also politics, local news, education, that I probably wouldn't have gotten if I stayed in New York City. So that was 20 years ago. Since then, I've written for obviously bigger papers, but all have been in Georgia, like the Atlanta Business Chronicle, for example, but also have been local, like the Noonan Times-Herald, which is in Noonan, Georgia, that if you're not in Noonan, you wouldn't care about. But in Noonan, everyone picked our stories apart. It was 5 days a week, back when it was 5 days a week. And it was really important to be on the street and talk to people to their face. We didn't do digital this and digital that back then. You had to go out and report. And it really taught me that local news is so important because the people you write about, you're going to see tomorrow. You're going to see this weekend. So you got to be very careful about what you write, even down to high school football stories. People were reading those very closely because this is their family you're writing about. So I learned a lot doing that.
Yeah, that's great, man. It's funny. You said before we kind of were recording, you're like, I'm a talker. And then you're talking about how you're from New York. I'm like, yeah, you got that New York energy. I can feel it. My dad's from New York. I feel like coming off you, man. He's from Queens, Flushing,
there you go.
I think. Queens.
I'm a Met fan. I'm a huge Met fan.
Yeah. My dad was a Mets fan too, or is, I guess. I don't even think I watch too much baseball anymore, but cool. Okay, so tell me a little bit about the Atlanta Voice. You kind of touched on it a little bit, but I think it's the 60th year.
It is. May 11th
really cool.
is our anniversary. Yeah.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about the organization. What you report on, like what formats, just general stuff like that.
Understood. We are the epitome of a local community newspaper. It started 60 years ago on May 11th. The owner is the father of my current publisher right now. We've only had two owners, one family. Our current publisher is Janice Ware. Her father, Jay Lowell Ware, started the paper with small press once a week, and it was all about the community in which we live in. Basically, at the time anyway, it was all about Atlanta, Mechanicsville, downtown Atlanta area. We've obviously grown a little bit since then, but the idea is still the same. The Atlanta Voice, which is a free paper now, it was like 25 cents then, is all about covering Black Atlanta from a very, very community standpoint. So yes, I have national stories when we have Trump coming into town, or when we had the 2024 presidential campaign, and Kamala Harris and her campaign came here 18 different times. I was on all those press contingents and was flying all over the country covering her. But in the end, the community news is what really made the Atlanta Voice what it was. And that's 60 years. Never missed an issue in 60 years. So something really to be proud of.
That's cool, man. Yeah, 60 years. That's nuts. Could you talk a little bit? You were talking about like the presidential campaign and like how I think you said Harris came there 18 times.
She did.
Because it's, it's valuable on the national political stage. Could you talk a little bit about like your audience, your city you serve? I haven't had many folks from Atlanta on.
Great.
And just, I don't know. Yeah, I'll let you talk about it. Yeah.
I'd argue Atlanta's the best city in the country, but I'm biased. It's been home for me for 20 years. I'm a little biased. I'm born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, so New York City will always be home. But you got to understand, almost half my life, if you don't count college, half my life has been here in Atlanta. And what I love the most about Atlanta, if you don't mind me saying, is it's got so much Black culture, and not just in music, but in the arts, and newspapers, and journalism, and just entrepreneurism. So to come and be the only Black newspaper in town, I do get a little bit of a bonus, being that we are the platform a lot of people bring to us. Our papers are located in all the local newspapers or the public libraries. Some of the senior living facilities, the local Black bookstores, we only have like 2. And all of them are quick to welcome us, and all of them have our newspaper in town. So we're supported by the Black community in a very big way. If I want to call the mayor of the city of Atlanta, I can do that. I'm not the only reporter that can. But when I do, I won't say he's quick to take my call, but it's very rare have I called him and him not immediately answered. The same goes for our 2 senators, one of whom is Black, Reverend Raphael Warnock. If I call and reach out and say, I really want to talk to you about this thing, I get them on the phone, because again, our pipeline is the Black community in Atlanta. And they know that, and I know that. So I do take advantage of the fact that we are Atlanta's Black newspaper. And Atlanta, it's probably got the largest, for a major city, probably has the largest Black population in the country now. So it still matters that you have a publication that speaks directly to it. Of course, anyone can read us, of course. News is news at the end of the day. But we do have, I wouldn't call it a bias, but we do have a platform. We do have an angle of sorts. So that's been a major benefit for me.
Cool stuff, man. Back to the Voice a little bit. You said it used to be, I think you said at one point it's 25 cents an edition. Now it's free. It sounds like it's still a print newspaper. Like, what other formats? I'm sure everybody's digital, obviously, but like, you doing newsletters? Are you doing the print still? Like, and the website? Like, anything else going on? Social media, stuff like that?
Multiple digital newsletters, social media on Instagram. We finally got an intern to help us out with the TikTok, because I have my own personal TikTok, but I knew TikTok could be a little bit better. So TikTok, Instagram, obviously Facebook, and of course we have a website at theatlantavoice.com. It's not Atlanta Voice, it's theatlantavoice.com. So every story you'll read in print is already online. With print being only 12 pages, you got to be a little more judicial with what you put in print. But we're a weekly paper, and again, we haven't missed a week in 60 years, and that's something that I kind of hang a star on. That's really cool to kind of have that legacy. And let me tell you something. There are people that still come into the office, physically come in and look through the paper. And at all the libraries, when I go and check, sometimes during the middle of the week, they're down to like, they used to get 50 copies. Sometimes they're done within a couple of days. So a lot of folks have been reading us all their lives, or their parents have and passed it on. So it's very important that we get that print edition out. To certain people who won't peruse the internet, my mother-in-law's 77. She's got a phone and she knows how to like look at stuff, but she wants me to bring her a copy every Friday because she wants to read it right now. And she doesn't want to have to use her phone or her desktop.
Right.
To read it. She doesn't even own a laptop. So she reads the newspaper. So it's pretty cool.
That's cool, man. So with the print, because I still like holding a print newspaper sometimes.
I agree.
Where's that going out? You said like libraries. Like, does it go to people's doors? Do you have subscriptions? Is it just a kind of, yeah. I'll let you talk about it.
We have subscriptions. You can subscribe to The Atlanta Voice at theatlantavoice.com. Obviously, I can mail it all over the country. There are a few people who are Atlanta transplants and still have us mail. So it might not be on Friday. You'll probably get it on Saturday in mail, or you might get it on Monday. but the majority of it is digital subscriptions, which are you can subscribe to all our newsletters for free, obviously, and the physical print, which is in all the local libraries, Atlanta Public Library System, and at senior living facilities. A few of the schools have us now, which is great, and two black-owned bookstores, one south of Atlanta and one right in the mall in the heart of the city. Those two particular places are very popular because, again, we don't have a multitude of black-owned bookstores. So to have them in there is great because there are people who just go in the bookstore, peruse, grab a paper, and keep on walking. So I've always liked to make sure that they're in places where people frequent. That way you can get a hold of it and not have to look for it. Or at least not look too hard.
Yeah.
When you need to build up your team to handle the growing chaos at work, use Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It gives your job post the boost it needs to be seen and helps reach people with the right skills, certifications, and more. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hiring hero? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs.
Yeah, that's great. So like you're in your 60th year, or I mean, the Atlanta Voice in his 60th year.
Right.
And you know, a lot has changed in journalism and media in that amount of time. What's the big, because you know, a lot of part of this show is about sustainability. You make a functional business, and you talked about it a little bit, but what's like ringing the cash register? You talk about some subscriptions.
Right.
I'm sure you got ads in there. I'm sure it's changed a lot. What's that look like, the mix these days? Yeah.
The subscriptions aren't paying bills. Again, it's a free paper, and you know that. So if you subscribe, you're not in the area, you're in rural Georgia, but you can't get to it, you're out of state. Those are good, and we're glad we have those, but those do not pay the bills. The ads do. Again, I'll use 2024 for example. Even before Vice President Kamala Harris became the top of the ticket, the Biden campaign had a ton of ads in our paper from the beginning of the year all the way through, because again, they want to reach Black voters in Atlanta. I have no problem with the fact that you want to use us as a way to reach them. That makes sense. We had a ton of money from ads like that. We also have local businesses that still, Publix, for example, which starts in Florida, but they have the second most Publix locations are in Georgia. Georgia Power, which is our energy provider. That's a great advertiser because you got to have energy. We got that. So we have a bunch of local businesses that provide that pay ads, and those definitely pay the bill for sure. Those are huge.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I like kind of seeing how everybody's looking at stuff differently like that. You know, man, AI is crazy. I feel if you've been listening to the podcast, you know I have to ask everybody about it because it changes so much. But I like it. Everybody has a unique view on it. So I'd like to tell me what your thoughts are on it in general, and if you're using any tools, and if so, how, and just talk about that a little bit.
I bet my outlook on it is not unique. I don't like it, and I don't allow it used in my newsroom. Now, that doesn't stop. I have five staffers. One's a photographer, so he's not writing. The three other staffers are all under the age of 28. So I bet you they're using Otter AI to kind of formulate interviews, potentially. Or I bet you they're trying to use AI tools. But that being said, as the editor, I edit everything on the website and I edit everything in the newspaper. I definitely don't want those AI tools used in order to write stories. I think that the art is still the art. The craft is still the craft. Go, report on it, go there now, talk to people, do that. You want to formulate a lead? Think about it. I know AI will probably formulate the lead a lot better than you can in your mind, but I don't think anything's better than original content. So no, I'm not a big fan of it. I don't particularly like it. I've asked for it not to be used. That doesn't mean that you're not using it and it slipped by me every now and again. I haven't had any instances where I saw something that didn't look kosher, but I've seen people use it and I'm just like, dude, you have a brain. You have the greatest machine, the greatest computer in the history of the world is in your head.
Yeah, the good thing is, at least like now, if somebody uses it too much to like write an article, you can kind of tell by reading it.
Yes, you can.
Like it's not like it's sneaking by anybody, and it's not like it's tricking anybody. It's reading it out there either. Real quick, you talked a bit about younger reporters and their needs or something like that. I didn't really ask that. What's the newsroom size of the Atlanta Voice look like? Like, how you're the editor in chief? Like, what's the team look like?
I'm also the lead political reporter, and I am the lead sports reporter. I started my career covering sports. So that's something I've done my literally the whole 20 plus year career. So I'm a lead sports writer. We're actually going to hire a new one this summer from Report for America, and I can't wait to kind of hand some beats over. But we have a staff of 5 at the moment. There'll be 6 this summer, but 5. One staff photographer who's brilliant, Tobias McCoy. His kid is brilliant. He's 23. 2 full-time reporters who are, I believe, 27 and 26. And then a regular freelancer who has so many bylines, it might as well be a job, Noah Washington. So that's my 5 right there. Again, we're going to get a new sports writer this summer, which will be great because I want to hand over some beats. With the World Cup coming to Atlanta in a large way, you really got to kind of split that up. And with us, I'm getting a new governor, a new secretary of state, a bunch of different, another Senate race and some districts. The politics are going to need to be spread out a little bit too. So my hands are going to be full.
Nice. It's also good to hear. Like I don't feel old, but if I look at my age on a piece of paper, it kind of freaks me out these days. Like, but sometimes you hear about these kids in their 20s, and I just get like a bad, like, oh, they won't talk to you, they won't anything. So I like hearing from people that saying, oh, we have some awesome people in their 23, 26. That's good to hear too.
I've had to break some habits now. I've had to teach and break some habits. So I'm formulating my reporters to the styles that I came up in. So they got a little bit of old school from me and a little bit of new school from their professors or what have you. So it's a mix, but I definitely had to get on them about not making that phone call. Go knock that door first, though. Knock on the door first. Show your face. Hand them a business card. I know there's a QR code, but once you hand someone a card and make that exchange. So I've had to teach some things, but they're really smart kids, though. Really smart kids.
That's good habits. That's some good old school stuff, too.
Yes.
Like the face-to-face, because that's stuff AI can't ever do,
Exactly.
If you know somebody or you're there on the floor, on the ground and everything. Cool.
Exactly.
So I've been asking everybody this. Flash forward 5 years, 2031, whatever that is. What do you see the Atlanta Voice, and like yourself too in your career? What do you think that looks like? Just keep on grinding and everything goes good and everything.
I believe there's a place for the Atlanta Voice 5 years from now because you still need Black-owned publications, you need social media, you need reporters on the ground, you need journalism. I don't think we'll need to print. I think in 5 years, the print will be gone, which will be sad because our major daily, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, I've been printing in this city for more than 130 years. They stopped printing this past New Year's Day. So think about a paper that old, owned by Cox with that many people, and they stopped printing. So I understand that from 5 years from now, I can definitely say, let's save the money, stop wasting paper. That said, I think the way we do business continues to change. Me, I want to be the editor-in-chief. I would like to be the publisher. I let my publisher decide that. I like to be the publisher because I want to stay in Black-owned media. I believe there's a place for it for professionals that are well-trained and not just as a proving ground, but as a legitimate source. I'm going to go cover the senator tomorrow. I was invited to cover that. Not like I'm not tagging along. They invited the Atlanta Voice to cover that. I love that. That means that we're in the same space as anyone else in Georgia when it comes to major news stories. So there's a place for us. So I want to be here. I like where I'm at. So I want to stay right where I'm at. And the same position is not better. I just want to keep on going with the flow as far as more social media, more video component. Even I'm doing video now, like setting up outside of a game or setting up outside of a rally or political venue and talking about what I just did and where to find it, whatever. I'm okay with that. I was against it for a long time, but I understand people want to see video too. Podcasts, we're doing more of that. Not as much as I would like, but I want to do more of that. So I want to see that change in 5 years, but I don't want to be anywhere else. I'm only 48, so I'm not done anytime soon.
That's awesome, man. That's all. And it sounds like you're plugged in. It's an awesome city, awesome publication, all that stuff. It's funny when you talked about the video, you're like, I was against that, but obviously I feel like that's maybe something that those kids in your newsroom could teach the old guys like you. You could teach the old guys like you and me, a little backwards stand before.
I learned a lot from that. I have.
Right. I'm the same way. I used to be against video. I'm like, I guess I got to do video stuff now.
Right.
But, cool, man. Well, yeah, that's everything I had kind of written down. What else do you want to promote? What else do you want me to link to or anything like that? Let me know. Where can people find you?
The website and Instagram, I think they're both really good. The website, theatlantavoice.com. Instagram is at The Atlanta Voice. I think they're really good. I think they're better than what somebody might find at a small Black-owned press or even a small local newspaper where they just don't seem to grasp that national stories can be made local too, as long as you're doing the reporting. We belong in the same spaces as the Wall Street Journal if it's in Atlanta, as the New York Times if it's in Atlanta. I've been in those rooms with Reuters, and I'm asking questions too. And people go, wow, the Atlanta Voice, that's a black-owned newspaper. I didn't know you guys were even going to be here. I'm like, I know, because what you think is that because you're a big press, you should have carte blanche. But if it's my city, I'm the New York Times for Atlanta. And I've always approached it that way, and now it's starting to become that way. And it's a very proud moment. So please plug the website, if nothing else, and the Instagram. They're both really good.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I'll link to all that stuff.
Appreciate that.
I've never been to Atlanta. It pops up just in my like day-to-day life, like more and more. It looks like an awesome city. I got to make my way out there.
You really do.
Yeah.
And then please don't come here without calling me, bro. I'll get you the real.
I'll hit you up.
We only have one good pizzeria. I have to take you there.
There's only one? Oh, man. Oh, yeah, you're a New York guy. You know pizza. So, yeah.
I know, and I've had terrible pizza here, except for one place. Bellini's on Pasta Leon. But I have to take you there.
I will. If I'm out there, I'll give you a call. I promise. Awesome. Donnell, this is great, man. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing this.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Again, please keep on this podcast. It's very necessary.
Yeah, awesome.
And it's really good.
Oh, thank you so much, man. It's good to hear. Awesome. All right. You have a good day, man. Have a good one.
Look.
Thank you for listening to Small Press Big Ideas. You can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. If you'd like to help the show, the best thing you can do is to tell a friend or colleague and just take a few minutes to leave a rating and a review on whatever platform you're listening to right now. It only takes a minute out of your day, but it really does help the podcast grow and reach more ears. Check back for new episodes every Monday.